What is going on, everyone? My name is Size, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys my sniper build. Now this build does some insane DPS numbers. We are hitting for like 900k to a million damage per hit with our sawmill, and we are also doing, I've seen us hit up to 11 million damage per hit with our great bow against the keeper of the abyss boss. Now we do some insane numbers. We use amp to achieve that. So I will say before we get into the build that I should be streaming on Twitch right now, so if you want to hop on over, ask questions there, you know, see what the build's about, some live gameplay or anything like that, the link will be in the description. And if you want to also access the save file, the link for the Discord will also be in the description as well. Without any further ado, let's get straight into the weapons. So the main weapons we are running is the sawmill. Now the sawmill is going to be our all-around sniper used for 99% of the content of the game. We only really ever use the great bow for certain bosses like Keeper of the Abyss, you know, like Parasite, stuff like that. We can, I've seen us hit 4 million damage on Parasite, like I said, 11 million damage Keeper of the Abyss with the great bow, so we can achieve some great DPS numbers, but majority of the time we are going to be using the sawmill. Now, the reason why the sawmill is so good is because what happens is it shoots a saw blade out, it hits the enemy, and then it sucks in more saw blades like from thin air to hit the enemy as well. This can come in times 2, times 3, times 4. You would want to try to get a volatile times 4 and frost, but I could not grab that, so we are only running a chaotic times 3 currently. Like I said, this is going to be basically the all-around sniper. It does ricochet, it chains, it, like I said, pulls the extra projectiles in. It's really good for basically everything that we do. And then we just run the great bow to achieve that 11 million damage on Keeper, and then 4 million damage on Parasite, and just one-shot some of the bosses. But this is also a really good sniper. Sadly, though, it cannot be enchanted. And then we are running the Masterwork bow. This is just to get our spell weaving stacks, so when we shoot, as you can see, we get spell weaving stacks really quickly. This is just the fastest reload weapon that I've seen in the game. So it's very, very nice just to have just to get the spell weaving stacks up. Now for our melee weapon, we are going to be running the peg leg. You can pretty much run whatever melee weapon you want to, as long as it has amp on it, but I do suggest that you run a quick attack speed melee weapon, just so this way you're not taking too much time to melee the enemy just to get your amp up. I will say though, every 3 shots you do want to melee again to reproc the amp for 50% gun damage, and that is how we're going to achieve this big million damage per hit per shot with sawmill, and then also the you know, sometimes 4 mil, sometimes 11 mil with the great bow. With our gear, let's get straight into that now. So now for the rings, we do have 2 godly rolled rings. We do have championship rings. These give 19.7% gun damage, as well as 52.7% sniper rifle crit. And then whenever we deal damage to boss, they get their effects get increased by 100% for a moderate amount of time. So we're going to be doing like 40% gun damage, and then 104 something like that, 103% crit damage. And like I said, we have 2 rings, so this gives us a sharp ton of DPS to allow us to achieve those numbers. Now for our shield. So this is the cool trick. So you guys might be thinking as well, since it's a sniper build, we have low ammo, right? For our max capacity, which is true. We only have around 200 rounds or something like that we can hold. So the way we get around that is we run a Sham, and then we also run a low level Torg like this one. Try to get a high pellet count and low level as you can. So once we are getting low on ammo, let me go ahead and shoot some ammo here out of the sniper to show you guys. I'll shoot around 3 mags right there. And then, okay, so then we're going to go to our Torg. So then you want to have it on sticky, you want to shoot the ground, and you want to swap on over to the sniper. And as you can see, my max ammo count is heading up. This is how we are going to sustain the max ammo count and basically get ammo back for our snipers. But what we are going to be running about 90% of the time is Cursed Wit. So we're going to be running Cursed Wit just for the simple fact that we are Spellshot, we do run glass cannon, so we can get 100% uptime on Cursed Wit, which is 100% more damage dealt to nearby enemies. Now, I will say, you could probably run Dusa. Dusa is going to output more damage, but the only sad thing is you cannot enchant for some reason quest reward items. Now, I don't know if this is going to change in the future, or if people are going to figure a way around this or something, but for currently, you can't, so until that happens, the Cursed Wit is going to be your best bet. Now for our armor, we are running Smart Armor with +3 in a Magic Bullet, +2 in an Arsenal. This is going to give us the most DPS possible, and then we are running Gun Damage, getting crit all damage stats on it. We could probably trade the Gun Damage crit out for Spell Damage just to result more damage, but this is good enough. The reason why we run Smart Armor is just because we're running from the shadows, so we are going to get 100% uptime on crit, and that negative 50% crit chance we get from Smart Armor does not play in a factor at all to our DPS. So we're basically going to get a free 50% increase critical hit damage at all times when we're in from the shadows. Now for our amulet, we are running a Thurge. This basically allows us to, whenever our action skill is on cooldown, anytime we cast a spell, we get 20% of our action skill back. So basically, since we have the Spellshot Capstone, whenever we get crits, we have a chance to instantly reset our spell's cooldown. And since our spell has 2 charges, we are basically able to kind of pop it, hit crits a few times, and then pop it again, and then basically keep repeating and get our action skill back within a few seconds. So it's really nice to have like almost full uptime on from the shadows. Now, like I said, we are running Buffmeister, a cross damage Buffmeister. You could run a Fortifying Sigil like this one. This will actually output more DPS than the Buffmeister, but the only issue is it's a AoE one, so you have to sit inside the circle to get the buffs. So that's the only downside. So we run Buffmeister just for the quality of life that it's always on us and it moves with us, and it stays on our gun instead of just being a circle that we have to stay inside of. So for the other stuff you could run that we do have a Fate Breaker. This is if we can get the enchants on the unique shields, like the quest reward stuff, and you are going to run Dusa. This will give you back the 25% that you lose per shot off of Dusa. Just because we create 3 lightning projectiles that restore 100% of ward. So once we're full buffed and in from the shadows, you proc amp, you shoot 3 times, melee again, you get all your shield back, and then you have that big juicy 200% damage on the first shot, and then 50% on the next 2 shots, and you basically keep repeating. And then let's get into our other weapons we have. So I did throw in like a Volatile Cruiser, Skeet Prot, stuff like that. Liquid Cooling just for you guys' convenience, X4 as well for your convenience. And then, like I said, the Torg. I did throw in some unshot Great Bows. If you wanted to try to one-shot any boss in the game, go for it. And then over to, I guess, our skills now. Pretty much covers everything on our gear, weapons, and all that. So for skills, for Stabbo first, we are maxing out 5 out of 5 in Arsenal for more gun and spell damage, since we double dip with magic bullets. We are going in Haste for more melee speed and movement speed. Melee speed is going to be helpful when, we're just weaving in our melee attacks to keep amped up 100% of the time. Then we run Swift Death. Now Swift Death is going to give us 10% damage down at default walk speed, and then the faster we're moving, the greater the bonuses. So basically, you want to have, keep in the back of your mind whenever you are in Envis and you're shooting these bosses like that, and you full buff up first, just kind of keep moving like, side to side, or slowly walk away or slowly towards the boss, whatever your position is, just so this way we get full, uptime of Swift Death and we get increased damage. We run 3 out of 3 in Exploit Weakness, so we get more damage per unique status effect on the enemy, and we usually have around 2 status effects or stuff like that on the enemy, so it's like 12% damage increase we're going to always have. And then Shadow Step, Nimble Fingers, and Follow Up are useless. I could see maybe running Nimble Fingers, but you'd have to drop some stuff in Stabbo, and I really don't think it's worth dropping anything. We go 1 into Elusive for evasion at default walk speed, plus we can shoot and sprint now. And then the last one, we just throw in crit damage, try to offset that negative 25% we get from shadows. So on to Spellshot. Spellshot, we go 3 out of 3 magic bullets. With our class mod, we get +3, so we get 90% of our gun damage. So 90% of spell damage is returned to us as gun damage, which is insane. This allows us, like I said, to hit that insanely high DPS per shot, and allow us to one-shot a lot of bosses. We go reload speed, 5 out of 5 in here, just for more reload speed, because those snipers do have really slow reload times, so this helps out a lot. We throw 5 out of 5 in Fountain Mana, so this way we get more spell cooldown as well as action skill. Allows us to get our action skill quicker and our spell cooldown also. And then we go 1 out of 5 into just warming up, because we need to throw a point into something to get down to high threat count and stuff like that. And then we go Glass Cannon, so this way, like I said, we can have full uptime of Cursed Wit, plus that extra spell damage just means more gun damage, so it's a no-brainer. Then we go more max stacks, like I said, more gun damage, no-brainer. Imbue weapons, so basically whenever we cast a spell, we go 5 out of 5 in here, but whenever we cast a spell, we get bonus gun damage of that spell's element. So since we're running Frost Buffmeister and our weapons do Frost damage, we just get more Frost on top of that, which allows us to mass AoE freeze everything. Then we go double knot, so whenever we score a crit with the spell, we get bonus gun damage of his element, of the gun's element. So basically, Buffmeister get a crit, we get 21% bonus damage dealt, and stuff like that. So it's very insane the amount of stacks and buffs and stuff like that you get from Spellshot. Then we go 1 out of 1 and 1 slot 1 kill. Basically, we get increased gun damage per stack of spell weaving, so even more damage per spell weaving now, and everything on top of all the gun damage we're already getting. And of course, my character interrupts me. But we go 1 out of 1 and sever the thread. Basically, like I said in the beginning, whenever we crit, we have a chance to instantly reset all spell cooldowns. So this is very useful compared with our neck or amulet, whatever you want to call it, to get our actions go back really fast. So with that being said, let's get into our hero stats next. So our background you want to go is Village Idiot for that 8 in the strength. And then we want to max strength out for that juicy 52.5% crit, as well as like the shrine buffs and all that. So it's a lot more crit damage we get. And then you want to max out attunement for spell cooldown, not spell cooldown, sorry, skill cooldown, just to get our actions go back even quicker. And then the rest you can pretty much throw in wherever you want. I just threw in status damage just to get a little bit more damage, but you can throw as many points pretty much in whatever you want to throw it into. So with that being said, let's get into myth rank. So starting off for Druid, basically you want to throw your your points into Attunement, max that out, and then the rest really doesn't matter since nothing else really helps us. For Archmage, you want to go straight into Frost since everything we do is Frost or Cryo, whatever you want to call it. We get even more damage there, and then in the spell damage, since we get gun damage off of spell damage, it's more damage there. Blade Master, you want to max out Strength and then go for Con, and then the remaining points can go pretty much anywhere. And then for Deadeye, you want to max into reload speed, because like I said, snipers have a very slow reload speed, so you want to max that out. And then I've been maxing, or trying to max out magazine size for just more shots off the sniper before we have to reload, which is going to result in more DPS. And then from there, you pretty much can throw it in the gun damage, or move speed for even more damage, whatever you want to do. And that pretty much covers myth rank. So for enchants, like I said, the Great Bow, once you shoot it, can't be enchanted, sadly. Our Sawmill, we are running a frost damage enchant on it. This may be able to be changed out for a different enchant for more damage, but this is the one that I was able to get. I couldn't get any other ones. Maybe if you get spell damage, it might be more, but since we have so much frost damage stacking, I think this is going to result in the most DPS you can get. Masterwork Crossbow doesn't matter, like I said, since we only use it for spell weaving stacks. Our Peg Leg, you want to go for increased gun damage on spellcast, since, on our our Buffmeister, we are getting on action skill start increased gun damage by 40. So with 70% increased gun damage we're getting off of our spell and off of our melee weapon. For our shield, you want to go on Ward Break, gain 40% gun critical damage. So basically what you want to do is you want to have the Torque Shotgun equipped. You want to, before you go to the boss, or however you want to do it, before you do damage, make sure you break shield, then Buffmeister, then Invis, then melee, and then shoot, melee, shoot, keep repeating. And that's going to result in the most DPS you can possibly do. And it's going to shred basically any boss in this game, or any raid boss currently. That pretty much covers it for enchants. I also did throw on 2 just pistol crit damage rings if you wanted to use the liquid cooling for whatever reason. You have that option. That pretty much covers everything for the build. If I left anything out, I will put it in the comment section. I don't think I did, but I hope y'all enjoy the build. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below, or you can join up in the Discord. Like I said, the save file also for you guys to try this build out will be in the Discord. I should be streaming on Twitch, like I said in the beginning, so if you want to come over there and ask me the questions directly there, or leave them in the comment section of the video, whatever is easier for you guys, go for it. This build is insane. There was a lot of stigma around snipers when I first started playing it, but I'm glad I stuck with it, because man oh man do we do damage. But with that being said, I hope y'all enjoy the build. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day or night, depending on your time zone, and I will see y'all later. Have a great day, everyone, or night.